WandaVision was one of the most emotional shows of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, MCU, with Wanda's exploration of grief in the wake of losing her son, but Agatha all along has further enhanced that narrative with the return of Billy Maximoff. Wanda is one of the most tragic characters in the MCU, having lost her parents, her brother, her home country, her place in the Avengers, and her beloved Vision. By the time she appears in WandaVision, she is already suffering with so much loss, but the series only compounds that grief. However, despite experiencing immeasurable grief in WandaVision, Wanda's partner, Vision, was able to provide some words of wisdom that stand out as some of the absolute best lines of dialogue from the MCU. And while those words resonated loud and clear in that series, Agatha all along has recently amplified their meaning and provided a new perspective that somehow elevates it beyond the original moment where it's delivered. And it's all thanks to the return of Billy Maximoff. WandaVision's love persevering quote explained. Vision may not have been real, but his insight was deep. In the 8th and penultimate episode of WandaVision, Wanda is facing the reality of her actions in Westview. While she was not always aware of where the line between reality and her own created fiction blurred, she did knowingly hold an entire town hostage and used them to live out a fantasy life. This was due to her intense grief at having lost Vision, the latest in a long line of losses she suffered up to this point in her life. In Westview, she brought her beloved Vision back to life, and even created new life in the form of her two sons, Billy and Tommy. However, it is her own recreated Vision who helps her to see both the wrong in what she did, but also how her actions are a reflection of her intense love. In one of the most thought-provoking and insightful lines of the MCU, Vision offers this new perspective to Wanda, when he says, "What is grief, if not love persevering?" That sentiment does not wash away Wanda's wrongdoing, but it does provide a deeper understanding of why she acted in this way, and considering she had the power to bring her loved ones back, of course she made the choice to do so whatever the cost. Billy's return in Agatha all along completely changes WandaVision's best quote. The persevering love manifests in Agatha all along. But now, with the reveal that Teen was actually Billy Maximoff in Agatha all along, it adds another layer of complexity and depth to Vision's quote. Yes, Wanda did questionable things, and her path after WandaVision ends became even darker, but the fact that her son, Billy, was able to escape the bubble in Westview and inhabit the body of a young recently deceased teen is an example of how her power manifested more intensely than WandaVision even showed. Billy and Tommy were not real children, but somehow, through her intense love for Vision, and her desire to have a family, they became real. In this way, Wanda's persevering love for Vision manifested in a way that can't be taken away, or disappear as the bubble around Westview fades. Her love allowed her child to become real, and find a vessel that could carry him forward. So what came of her intense grief? Not just sorrow, not just death, or chaos, but literal new life as a way to truly preserve her love, and help her through this terrible chapter in her life. Why love is a better explanation for the twins' return than Mephisto. Love wins out over the power of a hell demon. In the comics, the reason that Billy and Tommy are born, and the way that they remain real, physical parts of reality, is because they were born out of a crossroads deal with the devil of the Marvel Universe, Mephisto. This deal tied Wanda to this terrible being, and meant that the heritage of Wiccan and Speed, aka Billy and Tommy, was demonic in nature. While this story could have been adapted into the MCU, it's better that it wasn't, and instead, it was replaced with something more fitting to the hopeful and bright superheroic MCU.